I'm going to let everybody in. And then if you guys could just let people in that come in after that.
Sure.
Hello, everybody. Awesome. Come on in. When you come in, please add your name, your level, and where you're from in the chat box. We're starting with that. Getting everybody in. Come on in. When you come on in, drop your name, where you're from, and what level you are in the chat box. That'll help us keep track of how many girls we have at our event. Got some, oh, Nebraska. It's cool. I like to go in there and see where we have people from. We got Georgia. Awesome. And it's okay if you want your camera off, if you want to adjust your name. We're going to be asking questions. Got Missouri, South Carolina. Awesome. How fun that all these girls, you guys get to do something together from all different parts of the country. I see we got New York, we got Brownies, Texas, Hawaii. We got a junior, we got another couple of Texas. We have some New Mexicos in there. Colorado. Awesome. There we go, Los Alamos, New Mexico, Missouri. Awesome. If you're just joining us, please add your name, where you're from, and what level you are in the chat box, please. If there are two of you that are using the camera, please add both of your names. That way we can keep track of how many girls join us. A couple from Los Alamos, Brownie from California, awesome. I'm gonna wait till 3:03 and then I'm gonna start so that we can get as many people in as possible. I see some cool backgrounds.
I'm in New York.
I see like a, what are those? That is cool. It says John Dries, but I'm not sure if that's your name. We got some like, are those the Muppets? Yes, you guys see the Muppets one? That's pretty cool. We got some more from New Mexico, a lot from Los Alamos today. Very cool. Missouri. All right, keep adding those into the chat.
Can't find the chat.
I think you just...
Remember, you can change your name on there if you want to. If you don't know how to use the chat, ask your parent or guardian or whoever's helping you to add it in there because we really want to keep track of how many people come to our event. That way we know if people like it, we can have more like it. All right. We got a Brownie, Texas Brownie, Shiprock, New Mexico. Awesome. Rochester, New York. We got a Brownie. Well, I'm right now in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm in Old Town, Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's actually called the Sawmill District, which is pretty cool. It's pretty warm here today. Is it really warm where you guys are from? Thumbs up. It's really warm. Is it kind of medium? Thumbs to the side. And is it cold anywhere? I think mostly medium or hot. That's good. Oh, we got Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Hey, that's a famous place. You got Punxsutawney Phil. Yep, where the groundhog is. Very cool. All right, one more minute, let everybody in. If you're just joining us, please add your name, your level, and where you are from into the chat. And we are recording this so that if you miss anything when we create our virtual escape room, you can go back and watch it. We'll put it on our website. If you don't want to be recorded, you could just turn off your video, okay? That's perfectly acceptable. Let's see, very, very hot in Texas. Oh, I can imagine. We got a couple of daisies. We got Springer, New Mexico. Oh, my name is Evie. Hi, Evie. My little girl's name is Evie too. It's hot in Hawaii. Oh, but you were in Hawaii, so that makes it worth it. Then you can go to the ocean. We can't. All right. Okay, so it's 3:03. I'm gonna get started.
You can't see me.
If you can just mute yourself. And if you don't know how to mute that, I'm gonna have my two colleagues go in there and mute you. Most of the stuff that we're gonna do is
Oh, you're on mute, I think.
Can't hear me? Okay, hold on.
I can hear you now.
That better? Thumbs up? Yes. All right.
There you go. We can hear you.
Perfect. Thanks.
Wait, you're muted again.
Me
You muted
in the
again.
computer. Okay. Hands off. Nobody touch it.
There we go.
Okay. Thank you. I'll start again. My name is Luisa Garcia, and I'm the Entrepreneurial Program Manager here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We are in the Southwest. I also do our Bronze Silver Awards, which is pretty awesome. One of my favorite things about working with Girl Scouts. So we did previously a virtual escape room that I created along the idea that entrepreneurs are problem solvers. They try to solve problems and things that people need. They're resourceful, they're courageous, they're curious, which are all things you need to create a virtual escape room and to complete one. So for today, I'd like you all to remember the Girl Scout law and the Girl Scout promise, because we are following those rules when we participate in a program. The chat box is for the program only. So if we ask you a question, by all means, use the chat box, but it is not there for chatting with other Girl Scouts or just adding things that don't need to be in there. If you do, my friends Miss Allie Burnquist, who's helping me out today, and Vanessa Wheeler, I'm sorry, Allie's out sick today, so we have Vanessa today, is going to be helping me out with the chat box. And so she will go ahead and let me know if someone is not following those directions. She will give you a warning, and then she will remove you from the program, okay? So let's make it fun for everybody. We've turned off the annotations, so nobody can draw on the screen, so please don't even try. We talked about our warnings, and if we do have to ask you leave, we will follow up with your parent or guardian. So if you just joined us, if you added your name, where you're from, and what level you are. So I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to create a virtual escape room. I'm going to show you how, but you're also going to help me do it. So I'm going to show you the steps. If you don't remember what I show you, the video will be there and you can watch it after, which is pretty cool. I have a question on there. Do you have a question, Jean? Oh, if you have a question, put it in the chat, and then Vanessa will help me out with that, okay? All right, we have some people from El Paso, cool. So while I'm doing it, if you have a question and you miss something I do, just add it to the chat and Vanessa will let me know. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you for ideas and stories to go in our virtual escape room. And when it's done, I'm gonna give you the link so you can use it and so you can create your own. So I am going to share my screen. Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Share it and check it out.
Something good?
Okay. So I am going to go to Google first. Can everybody see my screen? Vanessa, I can't.
Yes.
Yes?
I
Okay.
can see it, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So the first thing you're going to do is I'm actually going to just show you real quick what our other virtual escape room looked like. So this was the virtual escape room that we did called the Girl Scout Digital Escape Room. It was Escape from Camp. So it kind of lays out all the questions and ideas, and I'm going to show you how to do that and what it looks like. So in order to do that, you're going to have to, and Vanessa, I hid my my screen so I can't see everybody's while I'm doing it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I can't, I'm not sure where it went, which I'll have to figure out. So if you do have a question or somebody does, just go ahead and give me a shout out, okay?
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay, so first we're gonna go to Google, and if you don't have a Google account, they're free and you can get one set up. If your parents don't always have one, make sure you have permission. You're gonna come to these little dots here on the side, and you're gonna go to your Google Drive, okay? So here in Google Drive, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick New. So you have a new one here. All right, then you're gonna go down to More. Do you see here in More, there's a little purple one that says Google Forms. That's what we're gonna use to create our virtual escape room, okay? So you're gonna click Google Forms, and it's gonna give you an entirely new form, okay? We are gonna create our cool escape room from this form. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna title, and it is gonna be our, what do we call it? The Great Cookie Escapade. And I kind of came up with just a little premise to start it out so we can get an idea of how it works. So what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna kind of show you this little button here that says customize theme. You see it kind of looks like a paintbrush. Over here, you can kind of check and decide on what color you want your background to be and what you want it to look like. I'm gonna pick, let's go with this teal colored one. That one looks kind of cool. So that's your background color. Your theme, your background is gonna be how dark you want it. So if we want it a little darker, and then you get to pick your font down here. You could have decorative, which is super fancy. Or you can pick formal, or you can pick playful. And I like playful, which is what we're gonna pick for today, which is kind of cool. You can pick a header to choose for your image if you want to. So if you wanna go in there, you can choose different ones. Let's see if we can find a cookie one. Let's see, we have some different themes.
What?
Okay, so let me go back, it sounds like someone had a question. So we went here, And then we went to our theme options, and you can pick a header, which is going to show up on the top. What it is a little picture on the top, going to kind of show up there. So let's just put this fun, colorful one, so you can kind of see what it looks like. Okay, we're going to pick insert, and it should slowly upload, and there it is on the top of our screen. Okay, you can put whatever you want on there. If you have pictures that you have saved, you can add them. Okay, everybody understand that step? No questions? Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our settings. You guys see the little cog up here at the top where my little arrow is pointing to? It's right next to the send button. We're going to click on that. And these are going to be our general settings. Okay. We're not going to do anything under general. You can leave it exactly the way that it is. Okay. For presentation, you can show link to submit another response, which is on there. You don't have to do anything either on that one, which is really great. Then if you go to quizzes, you want to make it a quiz. Okay, so you're going to select that right there. Now on the bottom, we're going to uncorrect these ones. So take them off. Okay, take off missed questions, correct answers, and point value. Now this part is going to be just about directions, and then we're going to put it together. Okay, so you're going to save it.
Louisa?
Yeah.
Sorry, just one question from Annalise. She says, sorry, do I choose Google Docs?
Yes. You want to Google Docs, you want to go to your Drive, and you want to pick a Google form. Okay, so Google form. Now, if you can't follow along exactly with us, we're going to record this, and then you can follow it along step by step, okay? So we came out of there, and now we're back into our home page. Now we're going to create it. So I'm going to just show you what each of these things is for, and then we're going to create one. So this first little button right here that you see that says add question, you see it's a circle with a positive on it. That's if you want to add a question, which is what this big box is right here in the middle, okay? The next one is if you want to import questions. And what that means is if you already have questions somewhere else, like in a Word document or an Excel document, you can do it that way. We're not going to do that today, okay? We're going to just put them in ourselves. This one is if we want to add a title or description, okay? That's what this is right here. It says Great Cookie Escapade. And we're going to add them in so you can see, okay? Next one is add an image. So if you want to put a picture in any of your pages on here, we're going to add it. And I'm going to show you how to do that while we do it. You can add a video. So if you want to do an escape room and you have like a video where they enter a room with a lion, you can put a video of a lion roaring. When they enter that escape room place, they'll press play and the lion will roar, and we'll show them how to do that. Now this is when you're going to add a section. So this will be if we add a little information underneath there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get started, and that way it's way more fun because everybody's adding questions and things while we're doing it. So for a Great Cookie Escapade, I'm going to say that our story is we are troop 110, and we sold 5,000 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. We need to go pick up our Girl Scout cookies. But when we arrive, we find that they have been stolen. So somebody stole our cookies. What we're going to try to do now is we're going to write the story about where those cookies went and how we're going to get them to safety. So how have they been stolen? So let's see, we're going to go to our next one. We find they've been stolen. So we find a piece of paper on the floor with a clue. So now this is your job. Everybody in the chat, what is the first clue that we are going to ask? Now I'll give you an example. It could say, ha ha ha, I am the great cookie thief. I have stolen your 5,000 cookies. The first clue to find the cookies is, what is 100 times 100? Now that's a simple one. It could be more complicated. It could be, what year was Girl Scouts started? It could be, how many levels of there are there in Girl Scouts? So I'm going to give you 1 minute. Everybody's going to add their chat. Yes, ma'am.
Will you give them a minute to come up with their first clue? We have a couple girls that are asking if maybe we can slow down and go over the first steps again.
Sure.
So maybe while the girls who are caught up are thinking of their first clue, we can just recap some of the steps.
Let's do it. Okay, so let me go in here, and I'm just gonna do it from the beginning again, just really slow, okay? I went to Google, okay? Now I have to have a Google account. I am signed into my Google account, okay? You see my L right here that tells me I'm signed in. I'm gonna click on my Google Apps. I'm gonna come down to my Drive, which opens up my Drive. These are all the Google Forms that I have made in the past, okay? I'm gonna come over here where it says New. You guys see the nice little square, the nice little cross over here with all the colors, and I'm gonna click on that. Okay, I'm gonna wait a second in case anybody's following along and doing their own document. I'm gonna slide down and I'm gonna come to More. Okay, does everybody see More on the bottom? Awesome, and I'm gonna go to my Google Forms. Excellent. So I'm gonna go to Google Forms and I am going to click on it. And as soon as I click on it, it's gonna open a new form for me. Okay, now this is my new form. This is different than the other one we created. This is a whole new one, so you can see what we're doing. Okay, I can title it Escape Room. You can title it whatever you want. Okay, that's going to be your title. Over here, I have my customized themes. You see over here on the side. If you click on that, you can pick what color you want for your background. You can do red, you can do blue, you can do green. Let's do red this time since we did a color on the other one. You can decide if you want your background color to be light, dark, or super dark, or if you want it to be white, okay? You can check your font, which is on the bottom here. There's 4 different kinds: basic, decorative, formal, or playful. For this one, let's pick basic since we picked playful on the other one. And you can also put a header. You see right here where it says header? You can choose an image. Now here, you can upload, which means you can put one that you have, or you can put pictures of people that you know, okay? You can look for different kinds. So if I looked for kids, I could find a kid one that had maybe balloons for a party. And then I would press insert on the bottom and it would put it right in there for me. I'm gonna pause here. Miss Ellie, is everybody doing okay following along on that part?
It looks like a lot of girls have some of their questions loaded into the chat box for the riddle.
Okay.
So I think that we're catching up.
All right, so those of you that were behind a little bit on how to do this part, it is gonna be recorded, and that way you can slowly watch it and really follow it through, okay? So for this one, it's mostly just to kind of give you an idea of how it works so that we can create one together, and then you can go after and practice on your own. So I'm gonna go back to here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add our first question. So you see right below where it says Great Cookie Escapade, I have one that says Untitled Question. We're gonna call this question number 1. All right, Miss Ellie, give me one question.
Ooh, there are a lot of really great questions in here, but one that stuck out to me was, what are the 2 bakers that make Girl Scout cookies?
Oh, that's a good one. Cookies. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to set up the question. And in a second, I'm gonna have you give me the actual answer. I know one of them for sure, but I don't know if I know the second one. So what we're gonna do is, I wrote in the question, and right here where you see multiple choice, you're gonna click on it, and it's gonna give you a bunch of different options, okay? For this one, you're always gonna choose multiple choice, okay? Down here, slide down. Does everybody see where it says required? You want your question to be required, okay? It has to be required. So you're gonna click that right there, and then the 3 little dots right next to required, you're gonna pull that up, and we're gonna go to section based on answer. And I'm gonna show you what that looks like and what that means in a second, but that's what you need to choose. Go to section based on answer. And what that means is, when you pick an answer, it's gonna go to the next section that you want it to go to. And I'll show you what that looks like, okay? So we're gonna go to section based on answer here, and then we're gonna add in our answer. So let's make the first one the correct one. What is the correct answer for that question?
So
Little Brownie Baker.
Little Brownie Bakers and ABC Bakers.
Okay, so then we're gonna add 3 more options. We're gonna say McDonald's. We're gonna say Pepsi, and we're gonna say the Lobos. Now, if you want to, you can make it even harder. You can give him, you know, Pepsi and the Little Brownie Bakers. You can give it the Little Brownie Bakers and something else that sounds very similar. So those are our 4 questions. What you're gonna do is under here where it says continue to the next section, we're gonna add 2 sections so that you know where to go. So what we're gonna do is leave that as it is. We're gonna come back over here and we're gonna come down all the way, keep going down, down to where it says add section, okay? I'm gonna click it and it's gonna give me another section. You see right below it? Awesome. Now I'm gonna add 2 of them because we want a right answer and a wrong answer. So there's another one. All right, so we're gonna make section 2 the wrong answer. Okay, sorry, you are incorrect. Please go back. All right, then we're gonna make section 3 the right answer. And we're gonna say, great job. And then we're gonna add our next line after that. So we're gonna come back up to our question. Does everybody see where my pointer is? I'm gonna click on it. For the first answer that's correct, I'm gonna choose. You see how it gives me all the answers? Go to section 1, go to section 2, go to section 3, which is the right answer. I'm gonna click it. And then right underneath it, I'm gonna do the wrong answer for every other one. And then I'm gonna show you what that looks like and we'll do our next section. Go to wrong answer. Okay, so then now I'm gonna show you, see this little eyeball up here? And then we'll take a pause to take some questions before we add our next place. So if you press preview, it's gonna show you what you created so far. You can see our little little picture on the top. It's gonna see our Great Cookie Escapade. And then it's gonna see our first question. Now let's see what happens when I pick the right question. So we know it's number 1. It's gonna take me to the right answer, okay? Now if I go back and I pick the wrong answer, it's gonna say wrong answer. Sorry, you were incorrect. Please go back. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause and see if there are any questions thus far that anybody has. I know we're going through a lot of different steps, but what's really cool is when we're done, you'll have one that you helped create, and then you'll be able to watch the video to create one on your own. So my chat ladies, do we have any specific questions about what we just did?
Let me see. We have a lot of suggestions and questions.
Oh, good. We're going to use those in a second. So
They're just asking if you can slow down a bit.
okay.
I'm just kind of going all the way back up. There's quite a bit.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and look at those, and what I'll do is I will walk through everything we just did one more time. Okay? That way everybody can kind of feel like they know what's going on when we're doing it. All right. So we started off and we went, and then I'll use another one of somebody else's questions. We went to Google. Okay? We have a Google account, so we go to open it up and we go to our drive. Okay, so everybody see where my little finger's pointing on there. I'm gonna click it. All right, it's gonna take me here and I'm gonna make a new document. So right here where it says new over here, everybody see it? It's got a cool little cross with all the pretty colors on it. I'm gonna click it. All right, now that's gonna give me some options. It's gonna say folder, file upload, folder upload, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, but we're gonna go to more, okay? So everybody see the Google form? We're gonna slide right over to that. And I'm gonna hold on a second just in case anybody's trying to make one on their own and they wanna follow along. And once I go through here and I show you how to make it, we're gonna move a little faster and we're gonna finish creating it, okay? All right, so I'm gonna click on Google Forms and that's gonna take me to a new form, okay? I'm not gonna do anything for a second just to make sure I give everybody a little time to kind of catch up. So this Google form, we're gonna title it. We're gonna title it Escape Room. That's what we're working on. Everybody good on Escape Room? All right. And it's gonna auto-populate right into the top there. There's my Escape Room. All right, next thing I'm going to show you is, see over here on the right side, everybody go to customize theme. And it's a fun little, kind of looks like a makeup palette or like a painting palette that you would use to put your paint on. Okay, and I'm going to move my arrow so everybody can see that it's right there. You're going to click on it. That's going to give you some options. Okay, you can add your color, you can change your background, you can change your header, and you can change your font. Okay, we're going to do each one so you can see. For your header, and that's the little thing on top that shows up, you're going to choose an image. Okay, there's different options. You can choose from all these ones that go up and down. You can choose to upload, which means a picture you might have on your computer. Or you can choose from photos that they might have. Okay, so I'm going to make it super easy, and I'm just going to pick this first little one that looks kind of like Mike and Ike candies. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to wait in case anybody's following the directions on this one. And I am going to insert it. So right here on the bottom, and as soon as I do that, it's going to put that there for me. See? There's our cool little picture. All right, now for the theme color, it looks like it changed our theme colors based on what color our header looked like, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to go back, and we're going to just make it blue. And I made my background blue, or pink, or yellow. It's up to you. You can decide if you want it really light, in the middle, really dark, or no color at all. But I kind of like a little bit of color because then it separates my questions. And then under here, you can pick your font. Okay, so we have a basic, decorative, formal, and playful. All right, so I picked all those things. And I'm going to close out. Yeah.
Quick question. So Reese Reynolds is asking, how do you make it go to a section?
Okay, I'm going to get to that. We're going to finish up the beginning parts here, and let's show you how to do that right now, since that's a specific question.
Sorry.
That's okay. So when I have this question here, I'm going to click on it. Okay, and I'm going to call it question 1. And this is a specific question somebody had: how to make it go to a section. I'm going to make sure it says multiple choice. And I'm going to wait, so anybody that wants to write it down, they know how to do it. Okay, and for my question 1, I'm going to say, the sky is what color? And then I'm going to add my answers. So we're going to make 1 blue, 2 green. And when I click on it, see how my little highlighter's there? If I touch it, it automatically takes me there. I'm going to say red, and I'm going to say orange. Okay. Now, right where these X's are, see that little part right there? Just click on it. And, oh, sorry, we went too fast there. So if after you do your multiple choice and you add your 4 answers, come down to required. Does everybody see it there? And I'll pause. Make sure everybody's following on adding this part. Okay, we're going to click required. And then I'm going to highlight these 3 little dots right here. I'm going to click it. Okay, and you see right there, it says go to section based on answer. And that's how it's going to go. And I'm going to show you how to add the sections. So you're going to select that. Okay, it's automatically going to continue to the next section unless you choose something else. But we have to add those other sections. And that is right here. So if I click it, that adds 1. And if I click it again, it adds 2. Okay, I'm going to delete them and show you that again. See if it's going to give me that option. I'm going to delete this section, and I'm going to delete it again. All right, so we're back again where we started, right here. Okay, I did multiple choice. I made the question required, and then I made it go to section based on answer. Okay. All right, then I added a section. So on the little bar here, add section. And then I added another section. Okay, now we'll call section, it says right here, you see where it says section 2 of 3 and section 3 of 3? I'm going to make this the wrong answer. And I'm going to make this the right answer. And you can put a description on here. It's up to you. You can say, please go back and try again. And It's up to you. You can add, and then this right one is going to be great job. You are correct. And then we'll give another clue there. So then I'm going to come back up to my question. I'm going to click it again. And this time, when you put these little drop down arrows, it's going to give you those sections as an option. Okay. So if I know the first one is the right answer, I'm going to take it to the right answer. Okay. And if I know the second one is the wrong answer, I'm going to take it to the wrong answer. And number 3 I know is wrong. And number 4 I know is wrong. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like now. And then I'm going to see if that helped out with your question. If not, we can go over it again. So I'm going to do preview, and that's going to show us what we did. So there's our escape room. Question 1, the sky is what color? Blue is correct. If I check it and I press next, it's going to take me to the right answer. If I go back and I check the wrong answer, it's going to take me to the wrong answer. And that is because we selected right here where to go next. Okay. So Vanessa, can you check in with whoever had that question to see if we helped them out with it?
Sure, I'll reach out to her.
Okay, so if we didn't, we'll go back to there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to where we were at. This was the one that we all started together. We had our first question, what are the bakers that make Girl Scout cookies? And then we had our answers down here. Now, next I'm going to show you how to add a picture. So if you want in your question to add a picture, you can go right here to add image. Okay, so I'm going to wait for everybody to see where we're at. Now you can add an image to a question. You can add an image to a section. It's up to you, okay? But we're gonna add it to the question. And the way we know it goes with the question is, see the box? It's right next to our questions. If we were down here, the box would be right next to our answers here, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add an image. Now it's gonna give you a bunch of options. You can upload one from your phone, your camera, you can look it up by URL, you can look through your photos, you can look through Google Drive, but I always pick the Google image search because those are already cleared to be used by anybody and you don't have to give acknowledgments for it. So I just kind of clicked in there and I want to say Girl Scout cookies. Let's see what they have. And look, they have lots of options for Girl Scout cookies and you can pick whichever one you want. So we want to say we're doing the bakers. So let's do this one down here that has a bunch of different cookies. So I'm going to hover over it. I'm going to click. And then this little blue bar will come up on the bottom. And I'm going to insert it. And watch, my picture is going to appear. Perfect. Everybody see it? All right. Now I'm going to show you a preview so you can see what that looks like. All right. So our first question is right here. And underneath it, it has our picture. When we answer the correct answer and we press next, it takes us to our correct answer. If we go back and we press McDonald's, which we know is not correct, and we press next, it takes us to the wrong answer. All right, I'm going to pause. Does anybody have any specific step questions that they want to ask? Otherwise, we're going to go to our next clue in our virtual escape room. Any specific questions, my chat monitors?
I think Taylor's iPad maybe has a question.
Okay.
Taylor, you can unmute yourself if you'd like to ask your question.
Okay, I'm Taylor. I'm on my iPad, and I think you will do before that the picture is above the text. How do you do that?
You saw the picture above the text?
Yeah.
So you can move this. Let me see if I can do it for this one. You can move any of your boxes anywhere. So see if I click on it and I hold it down, I can move it somewhere else. Okay. So I can move it anywhere on the page. But for the most part, if I put it underneath that one, it's going to give it to me. So if I put it way up here at the top, there you go. See, I moved it.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the preview now. See, now it is above your question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good question. All right, let's go back. And we're going to go to our next step. We're going to add our next clue. So
We also have a question from Lily.
sure.
Lily, do you have a question you want to share? I think she was typing it out.
Okay.
So
I do.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
How do you like get the picture? Because I don't get it. Only that part.
That's okay. Let's add another picture. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add another question and another area, and then I'll show you how to add a picture to that one so that you know it. And we're going to do each step every time. And the more we do it, you'll see, and then by the end, you'll have it. So let's do another one so we have another question. So we went to right answer and we said, great job. So we did our first clue and we said, great job. Let's see. It opened up our cookies. Okay, you are now inside the Little Brownie Baker's warehouse. It is dark and you can't see except for a light at the end of the room. You walk to the light and you discover your next clue. All right, so this is another chance to add some things to our chat box with a question or riddle. So we are in the Little Brownie Baker's warehouse. So your question or riddle could have to do with cookies, perhaps. Maybe how many cookies are in a box, or if you ate 6 boxes of Lemon-Ups, how many cookies would you have eaten? Examples like that. So I'm gonna get everybody 1 minute to add their clues to the chat box, and then Miss Vanessa, Miss Allie will give me one. And in the meantime, if you have any specific questions and you want to unmute yourself, go ahead and ask me. I know we have one in the queue about pictures, and I have a note for that, so we can add another picture. Otherwise, everybody add your chat questions or your chat clues for our next section.
Okay, so I have a question.
Go ahead.
You're probably gonna explain this later on, but how are we gonna get like the first question and you hit the right answer to take you to the next question, or like, is it something like that, or?
So you mean the first question, we took it to the right answer, and then how are we gonna get to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, so once we add our next clue in, it's gonna take us to we're gonna add another question, and then we're gonna add 2 more sections like we just did before. Does that help?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
let me show you once we add them, and it'll make more sense. Once you see it done, it's definitely more helpful. So now we're gonna do our right answer, okay? So we did that, and we need our next clue. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add another question, okay? Now remember, the question is this little circle right here. I'm just gonna click it, and it's gonna just stick one right underneath it, okay? Did everybody see that? I'm gonna delete it and show you again.
I'm trying to figure out the answer of my question.
Okay, what's your question? If you have a question, you can add it to the chat. And then if you have trouble with the chat, just put in there that you have a question, and Miss Allie or Miss Vanessa will call on you. Okay? All right, so we are in our question area for the next one. Miss Allie or Miss Vanessa, what's a good question for this one? What's our clue?
Let's see. Trying to pick one. I like this one. This one is not necessarily related to cookies, which I think is a good one, because I think there are different types of cookies in the 2 different bakery areas. How many Girl Scouts were in the very first Girl Scout troop?
Ooh, that's a good one. Girl Scout. Okay. Question mark. Okay. So we added our question, and in a second I'll get the answer from you because I don't know the answer. We're going to make sure. So see right here, it says short answer. If you recall before, I let everybody know it needs to be multiple choice. Okay. I'm going to click it. Every time you add a question for one like this, you want it to be multiple choice. Okay. Then I'm going to come right down here, and every time I add a question, I make it required. Because if they don't require to answer it, they can skip it, and it'll throw off the whole sequence of your escape room, okay? So we did multiple choice, we did required, and now we're gonna do our 3 dots right here. Okay, I'm gonna give everybody a second to catch up. Multiple choice, required, and then I'm gonna click my 3 dots and go to section based on answer. You don't wanna push shuffle option order, because that's just going to give you random questions and random answers. And that's the complete opposite of what your escape room is going to be. Okay, so go to section based on answer, just like that. Now, remember, we want to have sections for them to go to, right? So everybody saw how we did our questions. We're going to add 2 sections, just like we did here. Right answer, wrong answer.
And Louisa, this might
Yeah.
be a good time to answer this question.
Sure.
Annalise is asking if there can be 2 right answers. So she picked a different question. She picked a question about flavors. And so she's asking if we can have 2 right answers.
Okay, so that's going to be up to you. If you want to have 2 right answers, you want to specify that. I would like to specify that in my question or my clue. I might say, how many Girl Scouts were in the very first Girl Scout troop? And then say there are 2 correct answers. So what you'll do when you do that is when you add your options and you continue to next section, you'll just make sure that those 2 options that are correct go to the right answer. Okay, does that make sense? We can try to do one. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, so we'll make sure we have, this will be a different one. So the next one, let's try to do a question where there are 2 right answers. And then that way we can show you how to do that. That's a little bit trickier. So for this one, let's stick with this one. How many Girl Scouts were in the very first Girl Scout troop? How many were there, Miss Allie?
I believe Maddie said that there was 18.
18, that's what I thought. Okay, so I'm gonna make number 2 correct. So I'm gonna say 18, I'm gonna say 17, I'm gonna say 19, and I'm gonna say 16. And that makes it a little bit harder, so people might think they're close to the answer. Okay, now we added, continue to next section, okay? So we're gonna add 2 sections.
Really quickly, Louisa, before you
Yeah.
move on, because I think you might be ready to answer this question in the steps that you're doing.
Perfect.
Can the wrong answer option be used on multiple questions, or do you have to create that option each time?
So I prefer to create the option each time, and that way it doesn't throw me back to the beginning. And then my next section will connect to the one that comes right after it. So when you do create it, create a new section every time you have a wrong answer, okay? So that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna add 2 sections. 1, and then I'm gonna go down, and I'm gonna add 2. Now, this one is gonna be my wrong answer. Go back. There is a lion in here. And then I'm going to show you how to add a lion. The next one is going to be the right answer. Great job. You answered correctly. Okay, now we're going to go back to our question now that we have our 2 sections. So every time you create a question, add 2 sections, a right answer and a wrong answer. Go back up here. Remember, you have to have multiple choice, required, and go to section based on answer. Those 3 things need to be in your question, okay? So you're gonna come back up here. When you click on it, oops, sorry, I'm not adding an image. I just wanna fix my questions. Go to section based on answer. Okay, so we know question 17 is incorrect. So we wanted to go to section 4, because that is section 4, wrong answer. Now it's going to give me all of the options. I want to make sure it goes to the one right after it, which is section 4, wrong answer. Okay, we know the next one is correct, so we want that to go to section 5, right answer. This one is the wrong answer, section 4. Section 5 is the right answer. Okay, now I'm going to show you in the wrong answer, we're going to add a video. So we're going to come down here, and you notice when I touch it, it automatically moves my little long rectangle on the side with all my options. It automatically goes there. Now, when I want to add a video, I'm going to come to this little play button. Does everybody see it? I'll pause for a second, make sure everybody can find the play button there. And then it says right next to it, add video, and I'm going to click it. Now, it's going to have me search YouTube, okay? So, but if you already have a URL to a video, so say your troop is doing one of these and you want to have the clues or the answers, say they go to the wrong part and you made a video that says, turn back, go back. You can put that video URL in there and add it to your escape room. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to add lion roaring and see what we can find. So we're going to look for a lion that is roaring. Looks like there's one right here. We're just going to select it. Everybody see, I just clicked right on it. And then when you go right below it, it gives you select or cancel. If it gives cancel, we're just going to go right back. but you select, it's going to stick it right in there. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what that looks like. We're going to go back up and we'll see our little eyeball on the top. Every time you want to preview it, you can go in there. And this is good to do to see if you've been sending yourself to the wrong place. So we're going to preview it. Here's our first page. We're going to try to do at least 3 pages before we're done. Question 1. What are the 2 bakers that make Girl Scout cookies? If we picked McDonald's, it took us to the wrong one. Go back. If we picked Little Brownie Bakers, it takes us to the right one. Correct. All right, right answer. You are now inside the Little Brownie Baker's warehouse. It is dark and you can't see except for a light at the end of the room. You walk to the light and you discover your next clue. How many Girl Scouts were in the very first Girl Scout troop? Okay, we know 17 is incorrect. If we click it, it takes us right here. Press play. And now you can search for whatever kind of video you want, but this is going to have a lion. Ooh, and he's like a low roar. So we know we don't want to be in that room, right? So we're going to go back. Now we know number 18 is correct. If we click it, it'll take us to the next place. So I'm going to pause there. Any specific questions about what we have done so far that you want me to go over again? We added a video, we added a photo, and we've added 2 questions so far. Nothing in there, Miss Allie or Miss Vanessa?
It looks like Aislinn has a question, but I think she's still typing. If you wanted to unmute yourself and ask her question.
So for when you put how many girls were there in the very first Girl Scout troop, I noticed on the last choice when you were setting where to go, you put go to section 5.
You did. Look at that. Good catch. Let's fix it. There you go. Nice. Good catch. And so what happens is when you go check your escape room and you practice it and you go to your preview, you can go in and go through each one and see where it takes you. So if when I had gone back to review it, if I had picked 16 as an option, it would have sent me to the right one and I would have been like, oh, I did that wrong. And so you caught it, we didn't have to. So great job. Now everybody, that was good too, because then you got to see what happened if you had the wrong one. So we are on our right answer. So let's see, we have now escaped the Great Brownie Baker. You find yourself at Girl Scout camp. There is no one. There's no one around. You walk to the director's tent, and there is a note to the front of it, and to the front. The next clue is on the note. All right, what's the next clue, ladies? Add them to the chat box. We're at Girl Scout camp, so it can be Girl Scout camp themed. And we'll go from there. Once we have that, we'll add maybe one more. It looks like we might have time to have 4, and then we will have a 4-question escape room that you helped create. And then you can go in and play with it and create your own. And I will also put my email at the end, and that way you can email me when you have specific questions about how you make yours, and anything that you might have missed. So, all right, add those chat questions. And if you don't have a chat question while we're waiting, let's add our next question. So I did add question, and it's right below it. All right, Miss Vanessa, Miss Allie, when you let me know which cool questions we have, just go ahead and open up your chat and let me know.
Ooh, I like this one. It's a math-related question.
Ooh, nice.
There are 4 bunk beds in each cabin. There are 9 cabins.
Ooh. Okay.
How many bunk beds are there? Or how many girls, actually, it asks, because if you think about a bunk bed can hold more than 1 person. So how many girls can fit?
In the tent. Oh, in the cabin. Okay, now for this one, I want everybody to try to solve this if you do not already know the answer. Did they have the answer to it, or did they leave it blank?
They left it blank.
Okay, so everybody that's in the chat room now, please figure out this one and put in your answers. There are 4 bunk beds in each cabin. There are 9 cabins. How many girls can fit in the cabin? Go Go ahead and add your answers, and then Miss Ellie will give me the correct one, and you can check and see if yours was correct. I'll give everybody 30 seconds, and that way we have time to see if you can figure it out. And it's fun if you want to add math questions. You can add dates. A lot of times people like to use what your Girl Scout started, when is World Thinking Day, what was Juliet Gordon Lowe's nickname, how many letters are in her nickname. You can think of any kind of question that you want to ask, and it's also up to you to make up whatever kind of story you want. So when you add it, not only are you completing steps to your digital badge, but you're also creating steps for working on entrepreneurship, and you are working on storytelling, or if you want to add poetry in there, or if you can add math in there, you are taking a bunch of different steps, which is pretty cool. So what was the correct answer?
All right. So there are 2 girls can fit in 1 bunk bed. So 2 times 4 is 8, right? And then we have 8 times 9 because there's 8 girls in each cabin and there's 9 cabins. The answer is 72.
Okay, so we'll put 72, and then we're going to make all the other questions we'll make them kind of, all the answers kind of close to the real answer to kind of maybe throw people off when they're trying to do it. So we'll put 68 and we'll make them all even numbers because we know they're going to be even. And then we're going to go in, and how about we add a picture to this question? I'm going to go right here to my image. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to search cabins. All right, so we have some cabins here. You can pick whichever one you like. If you think it looks like, let's do that one, kind of looks a little, I'm going to click it, and then the blue bar appears. I'll press insert, and it should throw it right there underneath it. Awesome. Okay, back to my question. Everybody should know the steps for your question now. Multiple choice, every time. Required, every time. Go to section based on answer, every time, okay? Once you've done that, you can add your 2 new sections. So add section, and now see how it moved my picture? I'm gonna have to move my picture right up above it. Let's see if I can click on it and do it. It's being weird. Okay. No, let's see. Come on. There we go. So now it's right above my question. So I added 1 section, and I'm gonna come here. I want to add another section. All right, so everybody, after your question, you always need 2 sections, okay? The wrong answer and the right answer. Once you have those, so let's see, please turn back. And like I said, you can add a video. You can say, please turn back. There's a skunk in here. And you can add a picture of a skunk, or you can add a video of a skunk. Right answer, great job. And then we'll add our next clue as soon as we finish up here. We're going to go back to our question. Remember, multiple choice, required, go to section based on answer. Okay? And what was our correct one again? It was 72, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back on here and make sure I have my go to section based on answer. 74 is incorrect. So wrong answer is question section 6. Section 6 is wrong answer. 72 is the right answer. And then 68 is the wrong answer.
So we have a couple girls saying that when they click the correct answer, it takes them to the wrong screen. So I just want to remind everybody to make sure you go in like Louisa just did with all those sections, and make sure that you have it set to go to the right place. If it's the right answer, it needs to go to the right answer section. And if it's the wrong answer, it needs to go to the wrong answer section. And be careful to pay attention to the number of the section.
Good advice, Miss Allie. Look right here. It has to say multiple choice. It has to be required. It has to say go to section based on answer. Okay, when I clicked it, it took it off. See, so now it's not going to. I need it to say, and then I need it to go to the wrong answer, the wrong answer, the right answer, and then last, the wrong answer. I almost put it in the right answer again. Okay, so if you do all that, it should take you to the correct section, and make sure that the next section is what's underneath it, okay? So it takes you to the right part. So we have time, I think, to add one more question in here. So we're gonna go to our right answer here. And everybody, let's see, where we were just at. We were in the cabin. The cabin, can't spell, suddenly disappears. And you are standing on the top of the Empire State Building. This is going to be our last one. We can add it and check it out. You are standing at the top of the Empire State Building. There is a clue waiting for you. Okay, so everybody add your last clue. This is going to get us to the cookies. Okay, now you can go in and create one just like this and add more to your story. But right now, add in the chat your next clue. Now, if you joined us a little bit late, we ask that you add your name, your level, and where you are from to the chat. If you missed a lot of our steps, we are recording this so you can go back and follow step by step. And I will share my email. I'm happy to answer questions if we missed something. Okay, and so the video will really help you when you go back and look at it, because it'll show you step by step. So, Allie, do we have any great, or Miss Vanessa, do we have any great questions out there?
There's a question of when year or what year was the Empire State Building? Wait, what does it say? Built. When was the Empire State Building built?
Okay. Somebody look that up. Okay, everybody see if you can figure out when the Empire State Building was built and add it to the chat. And then we will add it to our, well, you know what, I'm gonna actually add that. I'm gonna delete that and I'm gonna add it as a question. So let's go. Here's our little circle. There's our next question. What year was the state building built? Okay, so as of the other times, you want it multiple choice. You want to make it required, and you want to go to section based on answer. Okay, and I'm going to add a picture to this one because I think it would be fun. There probably is an Empire State Building. Empire State Building picture. Let's see what we have. Oh, these are cool. So we can do this one. That one looks neat. I click it. You can pick whichever one you want. You can press insert, and there it is. So now I'm going to add right underneath my Empire State Building my 2 extra sections. So that's going to make it long. Section, which gave me one right underneath it, and then another section, which gave me another one. We're going to do this wrong answer. Please turn back. There is a skunk in here. And then the right answer. Yay! You have found the cookies. They are in a room at the bottom of the Empire State Building. Can't spell. A-M-P-I-R-E. Great job. That'll be the end, but what we're going to do is we're going to go back and make sure we connect these in our question. All right, so when was the Empire State Building built? Does anybody have the correct one?
1930.
1930. Oh, and look at this. Can everybody see on my page? So suggested correct answer. Google Forms already suggested the correct answer for me. Right there, 1930, March. We'll just put 1930 for our first one. We're gonna add 1929. We're gonna add 2028 because that's funny and it's not even close to the right answer. We're gonna write 1600 just because we can. So if we go down, we know our 2 sections are section 8 and 9. So we're gonna go section 8, wrong answer. Oh, that was our right answer, sorry. Section 9, yay, we're at the end. Section 8, wrong answer. Section 8, wrong answer. Section 8, wrong answer. I'm going slow right there. Do you see it? Wrong answer. and they're all in there. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the beginning. And we're gonna look at it. So up here on the top, we have our preview, and here we are. We're at the Great Cookie Escapade. We are troop 110, and 100, that's a big one I added. And we sold 5,000 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. We need to go pick up our cookies, but when we arrive, we find that they have been stolen. We found a piece of paper on the floor with a clue. Question 1, what are the 2 bakers that make Girl Scout cookies? We already know we did this one correct, so we'll choose the correct one. Right answer. You are now inside the little brownie baker's warehouse. It is dark and you can't see except for a light at the end of the room. You walk to the light and you discover your next clue. How many Girl Scouts were in the very first troop meeting? So I'm going to collect the wrong one so we can see what we did. We added our lion, which you can hear roar. It says go back, but we know that 18 is correct. When we take it, it takes us to the right answer. Great job, you answered correctly. You find yourself at Girl Scout camp. There is no one around. You walk to the director's tent and there is a note pinned to the front of it. The next clue is on the note. There are 4 bunk beds in each cabin. There are 9 cabins. How many girls can fit in the cabin? So we know that 70 is wrong. If we pick it, wrong answer, please turn back. So we go back again and we try again. We know 72 is correct. We go next. Right answer. The cabin suddenly disappears and you are standing on the top of the Empire State Building. There is a clue waiting for you. What year was the Empire State Building built? Let's try 2028. We click it right below our picture. We pick next. Oh, wrong answer. It looks like we did it correctly. If we pick the correct answer, we scroll down. We go to next. And there we are, we're at the end. Now, when you create one, at the end, when somebody finishes it, they can press submit, okay? And that means that you recorded everything that they responded with what they did. Now, when you go to your original document here, you see right here where it says responses, it's gonna show you how many people have answered your questions, okay? Which is kind of cool. And you can see how many times they got them right, how many times they got them wrong, how hard they were. You can add survey questions there if you want to, which is pretty cool. So now that we're done, we go back to our questions. We can share it so that other people can do it when we're done. And how you're going to do that is you're going to come here and you're going to make, oh, sorry, I think I want to send. We're going to send it. So if you press send, you're going to come here and you're going to pick this little URL little thing right here. Everybody see it looks like a paper clip. You're going to click it and it's going to give you a link. You're going to shorten it. So right there where it says shorten URL, I'm going to start again so everybody can see what I did. I went to send, okay? I went to the little URL right here. I clicked it. There's my link. I'm going to shorten it so that it's much easier. Now I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to go right here in our chat. Let's see if I can pull my chat box back up. There we go. And I am going to stick it in there. Hold on one second. It won't let me go into the chat. Let's see. There it is. Nope. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to stick it in the chat. Press enter. Now, everybody that you has helped participated, you can go to that link. You can share that with anybody, and you can tell them that you helped create it. And now you know how as well. I'm also going to put right here in the chat a little link to a survey, because this is the first time that we've done this as a group. And so we're still learning how to do it the right way correctly as well. And so we want feedback on how we can make it better and how we can make it easier for everybody to do. So if anybody has any specific name or a specific question, go ahead and ask it before we wrap it up, okay? You guys did a great job. That's a pretty cool escape room that we created. I really like the question.
If you're going to try and send it in the chat, you have to stop screen sharing first.
It let me add it in there.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's there under a 403, but let me try to send it to you again just in case you missed it, okay? Give me 1 second. And I can stop screen sharing as well.
And so Louisa, while you do that, I was going to answer. One of the girls asked a question about how they make sure that not everybody on the internet has access to their escape room. And so that's where Louisa shared the link with you. So you want to make sure that you only share the link with people who you want to see your escape room. That's how you can sort.
That's exactly right. If you don't share the link, they can't get to it. All of my Google Docs, everything that you guys are looking at, when I share my screen, only I can get to that. So this original one that we made, only I can change it because I made it. But you have the link for people who, if they want to try it. Now, when you make your own, you can change it however you want to change it. Okay, so once you're done and you have the link, you can go in anytime and you can change your questions. You can change the answers. You can change the pictures, anything. I see some questions. People are doing some different stuff. Somebody's doing a dance one, share it on their dance school's Google Classroom. If you guys make some, I'm going to type my email on here and you want to send them to me, I would love to see them. They are very cool. I'm actually going to send you all two right now the link to the one that we did before that is really, really fun. And it's the first one that we ever created. I'm going to add it to the chat real quick. All right, so the one I just added on the bottom there is another one that you can just do for fun, and you can add it however you want, okay? Somebody says they still don't see the link. All right, I'm going to add it one more time. The one that we just created. So here is ours. I'm going to copy it. So it's going to come in the chat right now. So you need to be checking the chat. So it's going to be there right now. Oh, it says everyone in waiting room. I wonder if that's why it's not. Let me update here. That's why. Okay, there it is. Everybody see it? It was sending it to the waiting room. And I'm going to send you the other one that we did that was really fun so that you guys have a few different ones that you want to do. And if you haven't added your name to it, there it is. If you hadn't added your name and where you're from here on the chat before you go, we would appreciate it because then we know how many people came to our event. And here's a survey so you can tell us what we can do better. I think everybody had some fun. You guys did a really good job. The video will be on our website and that way you can watch it again and you can have any questions. But otherwise, everybody, thank you so much. You did a great job. This was a lot of fun. Please put your name in the chat before you go. And all of you from all over the United States, we were so excited to have you in Albuquerque today. Great. Good luck with your virtual escape room. I'm going to put my email here again. Send me your escape rooms when you're done. I want to see the work that you did. And when you have questions, just let me know. Okay, I'm happy to send stuff over again. So thank you everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you.
Keep
Good
it
job,
private.
everybody.
Oh, I actually looked at your camera.
Lisa, did you say
Bye.
Bye.
Hosting this.
Bye.
Thank you
Bye.
for hosting this.
Good job, everybody. Thank you. Great ideas.
Thank you for hosting this.
All right, everybody slowly moving out. We're going to end it.